Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to another Idle Mimic production of the Circus Road. Where we left off, our intrepid heroes were on their way back to the circus. It had just breached into view down the river of the Tyledon River as they exit the town of Tesoa and head in its direction.
Oh, I would think that were quite the successful endeavor.
Wait, do we still have Jimothy?
Yeah. You got your goat.
I got my goat.
Yeah.
There's a goat following you.
A rather large goat.
Yes. Fredo agrees. Good. We did good.
And on top of that goat is a gnome.
The goat
Toji's
wanders
riding the
behind you, unleashed, obviously. Why would it subject to being leashed after all this time?
It's being leashed by fresh produce that I'm feeding it as well.
That's right. While it does not mind the grass on the side of the river and road on her way back, occasionally producing a fresh lemon or cucumber gets it to just to follow along eagerly. And it also gets it to regard you as a source of food.
Giwar, are you going to be able to house him?
Yeah, I'll just have to talk to the boss.
Fredo's a little concerned where you're getting these cucumbers from.
I watched 50 Shades of Grey last night.
Moving on quickly.
Alfredo's impressed.
Well, I mean, there was some in the town. I paid for him. Sure.
Well, let's
it's
recap
a village.
here. So,
why wouldn't it have fresh produce?
fresh produce, right?
Farmer's market. Yeah.
All the
saved
druids
barn.
around?
Yeah, I totally
Wait, no, the druids aren't here.
went granola mom and just bought a bunch of fresh produce at the farmer's market. It's so like me in real life as I ate an entire bag of Oreos. How long do you think it'll be till we get to the circus?
By the looks of it, down the road, maybe half a day.
Would the circus like camp at the half-day mark to like practice and set up, or would they get? How close would they get to the city? Or the
They'd
town?
get within about a mile, a walk, a short walk from the city.
Gotcha.
They don't want to trample on anything in the outskirts or upset any of the locals, but they want to be close enough that it's reachable by the townsfolk who are used to a walk in these parts.
Okay.
But they are currently still traveling in your direction. You'll meet up with them, or you could sit and wait. They'll overrun you at a time.
Well, we probably should get back faster than us sitting around.
Well, yeah, Thorin did send us out and wanted this completed before he got here, so.
Yeah.
We gotta help set up the circus.
I probably have to go heal somebody for doing something stupid.
Rito Keep is probably in a terrible mood without all of us there.
Agreed to hurry. Oh, sorry.
I've got this flask I've got to get back. Because I know he's going to want this.
Agreeing to hurry, the party double times and makes their way to the circus with haste. As they reach Torgat in his massive swaying form, stomping, swinging that bell on his neck, it looks its eye down at the approaching party, and you see a hint of recognition on the massive tortoise's face. You see the tower swaying gently to and fro on its back as it lumbers. You see the many ropes and ladders that extend down from its shell, dangling violently. Catch one, a practice most of you have at this point.
Does the tortoise typically recognize me, us?
You're not sure.
Interesting.
Could I notice that it recognizes us?
You did see its eye quite obviously look down at you all, and then its head
Yeah.
kind of turned to the side, leans its head down a little bit, scans you, and then pulls its head back up and continues to walk.
Does a sup head nod.
Greetings, great wrinkly one.
Yeah, I was more in like, yeah, okay. Like a dog recognizes a person kind of thing.
Well, it's not doing tippy taps. That would.
I'm not saying
Yeah.
that, but, it's like, it's like when you have a dog, you can eye contact kind of thing.
Well, yes. It looks at you. I mean,
Yeah.
its eye is as big as the lot of you standing there.
Yeah,
Totally
So-
does a wiggle butt.
Yeah, it makes
Also
eye
the
contact with your soul rather than with your eyes specifically.
Would there be people down here that would take our horses, our oxen, and now our goat back to where they need to stable, or do we need to drop them off first?
Absolutely. You go ahead and find one of the many Gregs running around, and with I'm assuming some sort of tact, you ask them to please return the animals. Or how would you approach that situation? As you spy some of the Gregs scurrying about the area, this is their job.
Jenny, can you?
You got it. No, buddy, you got it. You got to work on this.
I know.
You're the animal guy.
The grapes aren't it. Oh, no,
I
those
just
are people.
I just reach over, I touch him on the shoulder, calm him down, and I cast guidance.
On me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Greg, please.
What?
Can you stable the animals until we check in?
Okay. Yeah, he runs off to gather a few more Gregs. They run over to your animals, and they each retrieve them from you. And then they look at the goat.
His
Yeah.
name's Jimothy.
And this one?
Yeah, he's new. He's my friend.
They bizarrely look at each other and then approach the goat with a harness.
No. Just
Sack
The goat
produce.
goes down to headbutt them, and then the sack of produce hits the ground, and it gets distracted immediately. He goes to get into the sack of produce, and the harness goes on the goat. They'll succeed in getting it put away eventually. More Gregs come to handle the goat. It's just
a sea of Gregs all around it.
they're trying to move it, but it doesn't want to move. It's eating the sack of produce, the whole sack. The sack
I got it.
and
I got
everything in it.
I got it. And I walk over to the goat, and while it's eating, like, if you go with them, you get more food.
It looks at you. It looks at them, and then it reluctantly makes its way along the Gregs.
Let him know that the Gregs are not food.
Gregs are not food.
Genevieve, do you foresee a goat on the menu?
Huh? Huh?
No.
Don't let Thurgan get a hold of him.
I just put a sign on the back end of the goat. Genevieve's don't touch.
Not food.
Not food.
The
Not
party
friends, not
shifts their
food.
momentum to move with the traveling caravan at this point. Now redoubling back on their, or just doubling back on their own tracks towards the village of Tosoa. What do? You're keeping pace with Torgat and Thorin, or Torgat and Thorin's tower.
Well, yeah, I guess we gotta go let
Hop,
Thorin know
hop
that
up
we've-
on there and
we've
go talk to
completed.
Thorin.
We've
Fantastic.
found his friend, and
You manage to catch one of the chaotically swinging rope ladders or ropes and climb it to the crest of Torgat's shell. You move past Rexy's warehouse and make your way to that expanding lookout tower. And instead of a door, there is a letter posted to the stone wall. Under the letter, stabbed into the wall with a stake, is a bag of coins.
I'll reach up and grab the letter.
You take the letter.
Is there any writing on the outside of the letter, like who it's addressed to, or is it just a piece of paper stabbed on
You
the
get
wall?
the sense that it is addressed to you, but there is no name or title. There's a sense of belonging and intention when you pick up the letter, though.
Weird.
I'll open up the letter.
As you open up the letter and pull it out and unfold the piece of paper, it says, "I am sorry to miss you. I did hear from my friend and Tessoa, and did hear all about your deeds. Enclosed beneath is your reward. I will meet with you as soon as I can. I have gone ahead to Port Damali to handle some business."
Just like the bosses. All right. Well, grab the pouch of the coins and. All right. So here's our loot, and I guess I'll start. How heavy is it? Like,
It's a few pounds. It's a few pounds.
shall we go to Thurgan's and grab a drink and divvy our finds, our winnings up?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Thumbs up.
Sure.
Proto could do with a drink before.
Okay. So I guess we'll make our way to Thurgan's.
Who's in charge when Big Boss is away?
Me.
I
That's
mean,
funny.
she called dibs, so I'm okay with it.
Oh, yes, she did.
I was like, there's literally people here that would have been here longer.
As you make your way down the shell and across the dusty road back past the oncoming traffic, the Bard's Hole reaches you fairly quickly. The large rolling in an engineering marvel to be true, powered on its own, it rolls ahead.
How does this thing work?
How many people has it crushed?
Is it
Literally
somebody's
because-
job to scrape bodies off the feet?
It's the Greg's job.
Do they have like a separate like fund for stomping victims?
Oh,
Hush,
right. There's
Yeah. Under
there are-
under all these mundane tasks, I definitely don't
I
see
apologize.
legal services.
I apologize. There are two very oversized elephants harnessed and strapped to the Bard's Hole, pulling it.
Okay, but that still doesn't answer the question of how many people have been crushed by this.
No, it doesn't. The question remains.
That's a
There-
question for the bartender.
There is what you assume was heavily negotiated bright orange paint on the harnesses.
There's 4 Gregs that are just entirely legal services. Two of them are Gregs and a judge.
It's right there.
Justice.
Financial management.
The
It's like how
irony of
shit's
having
Finances. Yeah.
the irony of having 4 Gregs specifically designed as small creatures to warn people of the gigantic elephants just behind them is not lost here in the circus, but it's part of the charm.
Instead of 3 kobolds in a trench coat, it's 4 Gregs in a suit.
Well, see, I figured 2 of them can be like the judge, and then the other 2 are like the prosecutor and the defender.
There's just one as a juror.
Just so if there's 5 Gregs.
Yeah, that guy was jaywalking. He deserved to get stomped on by a mythological creature.
Your Honor, the elephants were clearly there. You'd have to be a blind fool to miss a. He was a blind fool.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
What do you mean we have to paint a bright orange?
Your Honor, the prosecution is disparaging my client. He is a blind fool.
Everyone in town knew about this blind fool.
He literally had a fool's cap on and a white cane.
The
It's not
kobold,
his fault he tried to hire a seeing eye blink dog.
kobold's entire legal argument then is to shrug. Like,
We know he's a fool. He hired a seeing eye blink dog.
Seeing eye blink dog.
you enter into the bard's hole while cracking legal jokes about the elephants out front. The familiar stench of the dank inn, which has sort of a dive bar atmosphere, hits you just as the sight of that brazen effigy of Thorin, defaced with all kinds of slurs and graffiti, hits you as well. You have to walk past it, of course. As you enter into the well-dressed interior of the inn, Thurgan is wiping down his bar and talking with Elder across the counter. They both glance in your direction. Elder nods at you, Xander, assuming that you're in current form. Yep. The Elder nods at you, but then re-engages with his conversation. He is talking with Thurgan about a particular new brew that Thurgan's been working on, pleading with him to give him a taste. Thurgan is adamantly saying it's not ready. If I open it, it'll ruin it. Get fucked. What do you guys do?
Well, do we grab a table to start?
I need some food. I gave all the food to Jimothy.
Well, that was just silly. What'd you give all the food to the goat? Oh, you're trying to fatten them up so we have something to eat later.
No.
I like what you're thinking.
Good thinking.
Jenny, you should have asked me for a good berry.
Well, that would have. It was the idleness feeding. For me, though, Goodberry I'd take.
It's your mouth is lonely.
Oh, I guess
I'm
we'll
hungry.
grab it. I'll go grab a table if there's one open.
As you slide into a nearby booth, Brutus comes shooting out of it. The blink dog running around the room for a moment. The German Shepherd-sized blink dog running around the room for a moment, blinking here and there before ending up in front of you. It cocks its head to the side and then vanishes again, leaving the establishment.
Oh, I'm gonna pet him.
Yeah, he doesn't like to be. He's weird.
I know what he likes. It's right behind the ear, but
yeah, but you got to get there before he blinks away. That's
yeah.
That's the game he likes to play.
I know.
Jowl scritches.
Also, butt scratches.
Afraid of seeing Dimension Door, Doggy, Seal, whole ham. 1 minute there, next minute gone.
Like the name of a 70s album, Dimension Door Doggy.
I don't
Dimension
even
Door
know what the
Doggy
song list
there.
is.
You got it. It's the whole name. It's Dimension Door Doggy there. It's like
Sounds like something
Clash.
Supertramp would put out.
I was thinking more like sounds like a Dio album.
Or Three Dog Night.
All right.
Okay.
Ale,
You get the table.
Ale.
Food.
Thurgan sighs as you all sit down because up until the point where you took a booth, he didn't have to actually do his job. But now that you've sat down at the booth, he has to break his conversation, walk over, and he puts a hand down on the table. As it rattles the table, he says, "What do you want?"
Thurgan, I can make this worth your while, I promise. And I reach into my pack and I pull out the never-ending flask of dwarven ale that we found.
He
I
eyes it
spin it on the table. I just kind of give it a spin so it spins on the table a bit. Slap my hand down on it. My gift to you.
He says, "Oh, thanks." And he pulls open his very loose trousers where you see that he has a garter belt with a bunch of those, like, strapped to it. And he puts it in one of the empty slots on that garter belt on his thigh. And he lets it snap shut. He had no underwear on. He was just wearing a garter belt.
Commando style, yeah.
And he says, "Oh, that'll get you around in a hot meal."
I need like 4
What?
rounds.
What
That was a
happens
lot.
when you fill them all up?
He says, "Then the ladies have a good night." As he leans in really
We
close.
apologize to the streamers watching this. This show just became very X-rated.
Fergan is Fergan. He's my only chance to be a
So,
dirty fuck.
We'll blur out this scene.
So sausage for Genevieve.
Yup.
No.
So sausage and meatballs.
There you go.
Oh, that sounds good. Mm.
He's like remembering it as he takes everybody's individual order. He walks away, but he reaches into his pants to pull out that flask. As he rounds the corner, you see him take a swig out of it, testing whatever
I don't
was
think he
inside.
washes his hands before handling food.
All we just saw was ass crack.
It's
I
better
work
than
here.
front
I'm used
crack.
to it. I'm kind of blind to it.
You're butt blind.
Alfredo wasn't expecting it to be so smooth.
Just that
Gross.
one.
So
little-
gross.
Okay. Well,
Well, let's. I dump out the coins, and I don't know how much is in there, and I divvy it up.
As the coins spill out onto the table, they are silver? No. Silver doesn't have that much of a lightness to it.
Platinum!
You hold Alfredo holds up the coins, screaming out, "Platinum!" There's 50. There's 50 platinum coins.
What the
there, scattered out on the table for you.
Woohoo!
10 for each.
One
of you.
platinum each.
Instead
is
of
100 gold.
Alfredo's like,
he's like scrambling to gather it all for himself.
sorry, instinct took over there.
10
Where can we
platinum.
even break this? It's so much.
I know. I just put 100 gold because I'm like, I don't feel like trying to break it later in my inventory on D&D.
No, you have to. That's the realism. You have to go find a bank and break it down, or be that asshole who tries to pay with something with like 5 copper. All you got is 1 platinum.
This is a meat market stall? I'm sorry, we don't have
Why,
9
buddy? It
gold
says
for
good
you.
for all bets, public and private, sir.
I only want 1 apple.
Yeah,
Just
but
one.
it's a matter of possibility.
I
I
want
just
1
don't.
apple, and I'm
This
not
is why I had
tipping.
all the cucumbers. They couldn't break a platinum.
Actually bought the stall?
I just like put some rope over it. I just dragged the stall behind us. There's no wheels on it. You just see ruts.
That's what the goat's doing. It's
Dragging the
pulling.
stall.
Don't make me get on my goat and walk out and ride out of here.
Elder walks over and looks at you all and says, "Aren't you back from your first mission?"
We just got back.
Huh.
Successfully.
Huh.
Very successfully, and I'll twirl a platinum coin on my finger, the back and forth over my fingers, and make it disappear.
He pulls a cigar out of his pocket and lights it with a snap of his fingers. Takes a deep inhale, showing like no emotion on his face. And he says, "Huh," and turns around and walks away.
What does that mean?
I think he lost a bet.
Did you think we were gonna fail?
You do see him leave a small pouch of coins on the counter as he walks out of the establishment.
Hold it!
You bet against me after all I did.
As he stops at the door and says, "Think about what this really means, kid. Fergan believed in you." And he walks out.
Yeah, but did he bet on us to fail and come back or be dead?
Don't know.
You know what? Let's not answer that question. I definitely don't need to know that.
Do you really want to know that?
No.
No.
Do you really want this?
So, Toji, I've got this idea. See, now that we've completed our first mission, it's my understanding that we get to pitch our show ideas to Thorn, and I've got this great idea for a one-man show where I need you can do little animatronic things, right? Can you do little recordings and stuff? I'm thinking of like, if I can record something and then I can hit that, it can play back, so I can have like a fuller sound to my musical repertoire.
Yeah, it's not going to be very long though. It's going to be 6 seconds per.
Yeah, but I can just keep hitting it, right? And it'll every 6 seconds it'll repeat the beat.
Yeah.
So I can do like a looping thing.
You lay down that funky beat, and I'll get it going for you.
Excellent. So that way I can be playing the lute, and I can have a drum beat going, and every 6 seconds I can just tap the pedal on this little thing, and I can have this repetitive drum beat for a looping session kind of thing. It's kind of a new way of doing a show that I'm thinking of.
Okay, I'm happy to help.
Cool. Now, can you make more than one of those at a time?
I think 3.
So now I could have like 4 instruments playing, 3 of them doing the same beat, but like at different times, and me playing live, and a perfect one-man show.
Yeah,
this will work.
3.
This will work. We'll have to talk about this more.
Yeah, after I get done with my project with the Gregs, I'll definitely help you out.
Excellent.
A clatter shakes the table as a platter of ales and wines hit and are served, along with some chips and some questionable looking bean dip and some pheasants that seem recently and rather hastily roasted. Thurgen says, "There you go." Walks over to his bar, eyes the coins, and goes, grabs it,
Okay.
and goes back to sweeping or mopping or whatever he's doing.
Xander, you work here. Can you ask your boss what the bet was?
No.
Hey, just be thankful he didn't scratch his ass on the way back.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well,
I'm guessing by the comments that, Ember voted that, or bet that we wouldn't succeed in some fashion, or that we wouldn't come back, because he said, "Aren't you back?" And when we said, "Yeah," then Thurgen bet that we would return.
Well, I also said successfully.
Yeah.
Also, I drink my whole ale. Like, yeah,
Down.
I just downed that whole thing.
Roll a constitution check, not a save. Check.
It's the same either way.
It's the same.
16.
Light buzz. You're feeling good.
We're alive, you guys. That was
Barely.
stressful. I had to talk to so many people.
I like how that's your
That was
definition.
harder than the giant. Talking to people is harder than the giant.
You did fabulous, Giwar.
The gin
Your
was
gift
cool,
for the
though.
gab is extensive.
Now what?
I don't know. I guess we wait for Thorin to come back.
Another round?
Well, hell yeah. Then I'll skull mine back.
Jenny, can you get us another round? I'll pay you back.
We all have 100 gold.
I don't want to ask him for more.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought you were being cheap, man.
No, I said I'd pay you back.
I need to really make you a dry erase board so you can just write stuff down real quick and just.
I don't think that would
That's
be...
so stressful. Do you know how long it takes to write stuff?
People will be standing there looking at him the
Also,
whole
what
time.
alphabet am I supposed to use?
Flashcards?
What if I use the wrong card?
I think it's just the social interaction, buddy.
So, Giwar, do you get more socially loose with the more you drink? I working in the pub, I do find that happens. The more people drink, the more inhibited
The
they become.
loss of inhibition.
Honestly,
Yes.
this is the first time I've drank with more than Clive.
Oh,
Well, another round for my friend.
baby steps.
As the bar slowly begins to fill with people, and other workers come in to begin their shifts, this place becomes lively, as it normally is. The party is allowed to break and go do as they wish. Inquiry finds that Thorin won't be back for a couple days, allowing you to do whatever you want as you reach the town of Tessoa once again, the outskirts of it. And a rampant amount of activity is about to begin setting up.
I'm
Is
gonna
there a
have like 2
dartboard?
beers and my food, and I'm going to essentially go home.
All right, we focus on Genevieve. There's a short, colorful montage of drinking and talking with her newfound allies and compatriots. This group of fellows that has just worked so hard together now, getting to know each other, bonding over food and drink. She excuses herself after a few moments, making her way out the squeaky door and stepping off the still rolling platform onto the still ground. The ale has made her legs a little bit shaky, but they stay steady as she picks up towards the tide hut, which is not too far away, actually coming in her direction, led by the 2 painted large crocodiles that lumber. Massive reptilian arm over massive reptilian arm, dragging behind Thurgen's bard's hole. You find your way to the your home. That's the tide hut, right? You
Yep.
stay there?
Yep.
You push into the door and see Lakena there, currently working on somebody's broken leg. She is channeling healing magic into it and trying to get it to straighten out. There are a couple grueling cracks and squelches as the leg settles back into place, but the recipient of the magic is currently biting down on what you know to be a silencing stick. Both a stick that silences.
Sweet. Well,
What great magic!
go. I'm going to while I'm going over there, probably a little bit buzzed, so I don't want to do anything too terribly crazy. But
Are you about to practice medicine inebriated?
yeah,
I heal you! Oh, I broke it some more. My bad.
maybe.
That was
Oh,
horrible.
that was inflict
shit.
wounds, not cure wounds. Ooh.
That's gonna leave a mark.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That'd be
Go
the
ahead.
No, it's all
best.
good. What I will do though is I will go over to the patient and I will just touch his forehead and cast calm emotions.
As you touch his forehead, he spits out the stick and goes, "That is gold! Oh!" But you calm emotions, and he goes, "Hey, your hand is like ice."
Accidentally cast Crown of Madness.
That's all right. Like my like and then I go over and cast guidance on Lake.
The guidance seems to provide some sort of assistance as a final crack is heard and the leg straightens out. The rest of the magic seems to stitch up various wounds. And his leg is fixed. As he sits up off the bed and stretches it out a few times, Lakena washes her hands in a nearby bucket and says, "So what are we going to do?" He looks at her and says, "I'm gonna stay away from the elephants." She goes, "Yes, they're painted bright orange for a reason. Now get out of here."
He goes and updates a number on a board.
Workplace accidents
Accidents.
gets reset.
Days since last accident.
Days since
It's
the last
only
elephant
at
stopping.
one. It's only at one.
Day since someone tried to mess with the elephants.
Yeah.
Days is crossed out. It's hours. As the man leaves and the door clatters shut, Lakena holds up a finger and points to the room leading to the back where patients might sleep. It's a universal sign that there is somebody back there resting, and sensitive conversation should be avoided, but your voice should be kept down.
Okay. So how have you been? No, just kidding.
She just yeah, go ahead.
I'm not drunk, you're drunk.
She greets you. You're like a happy wave and beckons you to sit down. Curious about how your first mission, your green letter mission went. Shows in her eyes. She wants to know.
So it went good. Although did totally find out that, Thorm had a bet about us, which is weird.
Thurgan?
Thurgan, yes. Sorry. I've had ale.
She smiles and she says, Thurgan takes bets on all the green letters. It's nothing personal.
What was the bet?
Well, I don't know. I don't gamble.
That's fair. No, it went good. I got a goat.
She reaches over and touches lesser restoration on you, and immediately your buzz is gone. And she says, I hope you weren't enjoying that, and I do have some wine in the cabinet, but you're trying to tell me something.
No, seriously, we got a goat. It's a
You got
giant
a
goat.
You've got to go to I thought you were trying to say that you've got to go and then forgot what you were saying, and I was concerned for you, my dear. A goat.
Yes.
A goat.
Giant goat.
Fantastic.
Fought a hill giant.
She hands you a bottle of wine. There you are. And return to your previous state.
You're gonna share this with me, right?
And she smiles and brings out 2 glasses.
Damn right.
As you pop the cork, you descend into conversation and expunge the information that you've learned over your journey and all the excitements in meeting an air genie that had imprisoned a bard after talking to a forest spirit and discovering all these different druidic ruins and crazy forest adventures. And she smiles and listens.
And an owl bear.
And an owl bear, you say? Did you get a cub?
No, I feel really bad though.
Why?
I feel like that fight could have been avoided. But Giwar had clams. He was
Well,
sick.
Genevieve, most fights can be avoided.
Touche.
She smiles. Says, well, I'm proud of you. It won't be long until you leave my service, and I'll have to find another apprentice. And,
You're not gonna get rid of me that easy.
well, no, because you see, that's your job. Finding my next apprentice, Genevieve. I task you with such a thing.
Oh no.
My hands are filled. And in order for you to truly leave, truly take your place in the world, which you must do, the cards have willed it. You must find me another to help me.
That's fair.
Well, this should keep you around a little bit longer. There are very few as skilled as you in the realms of healing.
That's nice.
Well, the mystic arts as well. I would hate to have to completely train another fool to read cards. Not that you were a fool, my dear, just that there have been
No, mostly it's
many.
fools
Yes.
and charlatans.
Well, we approach. Do you have anything planned?
I don't think so. I mean, just kind of wait until we hear what's next. But I mean, I don't know. It's up to really fate.
She smiles. Isn't it always?
Yeah.
We rewind time a little bit and go back to the table. Who leaves the table next?
Well, after hearing that Giwar has really only drank with his badger before, I'm kind of turned it into my mission to get him shittered.
Oh, shit.
And eventually, hopefully, my goal is to get him so inebriated that he won't even notice that I get him up on stage and help me perform something.
Karaoke.
I do know how to play the flute.
See, there you go.
Only 15 minutes after Genevieve's departure, Giwar and Xander are engaged in a drinking competition surrounded by various circus lackeys and Thurgan, who is, of course, there on top of the table, pouring new drinks out of a bottle around crotch level into various mugs and glasses as he is handed new drinks by a pretty thrilled looking waitress having a great time with this whole thing. The two of you are in an actual constitution check contest as you are downing ales being egged on by this massive crowd around you.
Uh-oh.
Chug, 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 chug.
Xander, you've got to un-DM. You got to unwhisper.
Oh, did I? Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
17.
Yeah.
2 beers in, baby.
Yeah.
Excuse me, ales.
Okay, that should do it.
Fantastic.
2 ales in.
Xander immediately is regretting his own words as he is drowned in burning ale that the Furbolg, right? Your Furbolg
Yes.
has no real issue handling. As Xander takes his first loss out of 3, you guys grab for your next set of nearly pitch black, inky looking grog and down it.
Oh,
There we go. 16.
In this instance, Xander is the one capable of holding down this underdark swill, while the Furbolg is having a bit of a more difficult time with the umami taste of this beverage.
So this last round, as Giwar goes to start to drink, I transform myself into a female Flurbog and give him a wink and a nod and then down it. Just try to throw him off his game a bit.
Fantastic.
I becoming slightly more inebriated from that last drink. Also being 1 drink ahead.
Did I make a mistake on Xander's profile? Is he not a drow in that picture?
Which one?
That's a
You're-
changeling.
You're a
Changeling.
changeling.
That's my changeling form.
I
My
turned
apologies.
myself
Whatever, it works.
into Xander.
You turn yourself into Xander. You swap, and a few of the more inebriated drunks in the place, including Thurgan, who is currently in the middle of telling a raunchy joke, look back and say, no, sir! No switching places! When did you become a lady?
Ah!
And you
Oh, God!
reach for your next beverage.
Oh, God, that's bad.
I got a 9.
I
You
got
a 4.
4.
Now, Giwar is now poisoned as he becomes shit-faced drunk
God
as he
damn
takes
it.
his second loss. And poisoned is disadvantage.
Yep.
As you
Come on,
go
Giwar.
again.
Let's get up
It's
and
not
play.
fair. I'm 1 drink ahead already.
I'll down another
You're-
one just to make it fair
You're
for him.
cheating.
I'll down another one to make it fair for him. That's an 11. That's probably going to fail too.
Is it 11 against the you're rolling you just
It's
you
not a
just
contest.
quickly-
It's just that he's one ahead of me because
Okay.
he downed his first one. So I downed it just because he was complaining about it. So I downed one just to
yeah,
catch up.
I was
Oh,
just
so you're
kidding,
just
man.
making a
That's-
flat check against the
that's
alcohol itself.
pretty
Yes.
awesome,
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
Okay.
You go ahead and catch up with 2. You're both poisoned.
All right, let's get up and play.
Alfredo,
Come on.
do you want to?
I pull up my
Oh,
loot.
we're
I slap Giwar on the back.
What?
Anybody else? Toji, you play the drums, don't you? Come on.
No.
Disadvantage performance check.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have,
In the
I
middle
have
of the-
flute. Okay.
Alfredo, you
Yeah.
want to bet to see
Let's
who
go.
passes out
Minus
first?
1 performance already.
Thurgan seems to forget that you're in the middle of a competition and pulls out a set of drums out of nowhere and also begins to join in.
14
Do
for
we
me.
Do we even pick a? I'm assuming we didn't pick a song, so we're just gonna play whatever we thought we were supposed to play.
You're jamming. You're jamming.
We're jamming. We're
it's
just
jazz,
jamming.
baby. Here we go.
It's a bunch of different. Yeah.
Oh
yeah. It's okay. It sounds like a bunch of drunk fools trying to play music together.
Which happens
So
at the
it's a bunch
Bard's
of third
Hole all the
graders
time.
in music
Yeah.
class. Got it. Yeah.
All the time. As the crowd descends into a chant that eventually catches on to a popular sailor's tune of the day, you are encouraged to take your final drinks against one another.
All right.
This is
The bubbling concoction sitting in ceramic mugs, letting off steam.
This is for all the marbles.
Oh, this is a check, so it's disadvantage.
Yeah, we're going
Everything's-
against the disadvantage.
Everything's a disadvantage.
Okay, so that's an 11 or
Yeah.
an 11. So an 11.
Oh, 3.
Oh, an 8. Sorry, an 8. I got
You both black out.
it.
Alfredo, what are you up to?
As Toji just asked if
You watch their heads slam down on the table after downing this brew, and the crowd seems to be like, and lose interest at the lack of a clear winner in this contest. Thurgan is still pounding away at the drums, running off somewhere in the tavern, chasing a waitress. What are you doing? Yeah, no, he's not a good guy. He's very kind of fucked up.
Oh, that Thurgan. No.
Yeah, no, he's very much a quagmire type figure, but he's like, I'm very clear on his moral standing. Go ahead, Alfredo. What are you doing?
Alfredo turns to Toji just as the matter of betting was brought up. Alfredo thinks they're going to go out at the same. There they go.
Oh, there they go. Well, it was entertaining enough. Should we leave them or should we draw on them?
Yes. Oh,
Should we draw on them?
You sons of bitches.
Both.
You sons of bitches.
Alfredo is actually drawing in a sketchbook what looks to be some sort of automated drumming drum.
What you got going on there?
Well, Xander inspired Alfredo. Tinkering is a hobby. Now, just need to figure out how much explosives Alfredo needs to make the drum by itself, and then I think it might work.
I don't think you need gun or black powder for a drum.
Of course you do. I mean, Alfredo puts black powder in all inventions.
Yeah, we got to work on that. Black
Seems to
powder is
work
not a
out.
good energy source. It's very combustible, and you lose body parts.
Goes boom. Well, only one so far, but it grew back.
I mean, the drum idea is not a bad idea if you use it as like a decoy. People will come up to you and be like, "What's that noise?" And then boom. Ah!
Oh no, Alfredo was thinking more performance.
Yeah, I think that's a bad idea.
Back to the dragon board.
But if you look at this, and then I'll show them my sketches of like clockwork stuff and just a simple lever or pulley. See, this is how you'd want to go about making an automatic drum.
But where does the gunpowder go?
In your pocket?
Oh. But then... Okay, so I need First inventing non-combustible pants. Yes, I think this might work.
What we could do with the black powder is, I've also been working on adding different minerals to black powder, and when they blow up, they shoot up into the sky and come different colors.
Does it make a
So-
drumming noise?
We could shoot these out of the drum. So you drum and little sparkly lights.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Thurgan walks by and says, "Huh, sounds like a firework from Papa Duke." Keeps walking.
See, he knows.
Who's Happaduke?
It's a city, not a hill.
Oh.
It's a where.
Sounds tasty.
They do have some tasty drinks there.
A good idea. I'm sure Xander will enjoy an exploding drum. Yes.
Yeah, we'll
I wonder if
not for him.
Alfredo can use a tree to keep his workshop for this. Sure, she won't mind.
What do you guys do?
Try to figure out how to get these large, massive people compared to us to a. Are there like rooms in this place?
My
There
room is
are,
here. This is where I
but-
live.
Oh, okay.
You also know that where they are left is considered to be fine.
Alfredo can wake them up. Or do we let them, what's the saying?
Sit in their own filth.
Should we-
There's a saying.
Should we take their
Sleeping
coin
dogs.
purses so no one else takes their coin purses?
Steal from them so they don't get stolen from? Yes,
Yes.
sounds good.
You walk up and take their coin purses. It
Safekeeping.
was that easy.
Reflex save now.
Same third edition.
And I'll
Yeah.
pull out my little pen, and instead of drawing a penis, I'm just gonna write penis.
Take advantage of the fact I can't write, huh?
Alfredo will try to do Starry Night or something like that on one of their backs.
Performance check?
Yeah, give me a performance check to paint the Starry Night on their fur-covered backs.
Actually, if they're fur covered, let's just go for scissors. It
No!
just makes-
Oh no.
I can't complain though.
Well, yeah, because I guess Giwar transforms back, but I don't. So yeah, I'm still a furblog. I'm still a female furblog. That was the last form I took. So...
I have my armor on. You can't.
Not anymore.
You suck.
They cut various patterns like hearts, stars, horseshoes, clovers, and blue moons
A random game of
Into your-
tic-tac-toe is in there.
into your
It
fur.
was a draw.
And then, considering that their work is immaculate, call it a day and exit the bar. What do you do? Do you go a different direction, Alfredo? Do you go with Toji? Where are you guys going?
I'm gonna go back to my space.
Okay.
Everything's
Alfredo?
Is there like a communal workshop? Like you can go to do workshoppy things?
Yeah. Sure, yes. The Gregs have a space that you can go to.
A general assembly area.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But you-
Alfredo
as you-
will
Oh, sorry, go
spend
ahead.
the night ripping apart different drums and trying to figure out how to make them explode.
Not a problem. Toji, as you make your way back to Rex's warehouse, and you sit down at your desk, and you begin your tinkerings. Within half an hour or so, you're brought out of your focus by Rex's voice. It says, "So you went to that hole again, huh?"
Yeah, it was kind of a celebration from the travels that we survived.
You know, alcohol does terrible things to your creativity.
I drink in moderation.
And that fool is only a horrible influence.
Yeah, I pay him no mind.
You've been in back for hours, and this is the first I hear of it.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Me and Alfredo got distracted by shaving artwork into our friends.
She turns around and walks off.
It was creativity.
Back to tinkering.
Back to tinkering. The day passes. Long rests. Awakening in the morning at the table. Xander and Giwar make constitution saving throws against the onslaught of a pounding headache.
Oh, no.
Your kidneys.
Are we still at disadvantage?
Yeah, you're still poisoned.
I can't get any worse. I rolled a
I
one.
hate you.
Your kidneys ache.
I really hate you.
Your buttholes are holding in something. You
booze,
need
booze.
to rush to the nearest cabinet or
Is there a balance
somewhere
check?
bucket.
Acrobatics check to run straight.
Yeah, you guys need to go. It's the things are moving in your bodies with those constitution saves. I can only write so much. The dice write for me.
Oh shit!
I run to
literally,
the
I wake
nearest
up and I'm
enemy.
like, the drool is down my face, all matted, the fur on my face. I'm like, fur? What the fuck? Why am I?
Why?
What? Holy shit! What the? I look at Giwar like, what the?
I'm not even thinking
I look
like
at my
that.
hands and they're these
But not-
large cowlet, and I transform
Nausea.
back into myself, and the fur kind of
Something's
dissipates.
brewing in
You
me and it
are
needs
you
to be
are
released.
half a little girl, Xander, and half a changeling as you try to transform back into yourself.
Aren't your clothes off because they were shaving shit into you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
I haven't even noticed
disheveled.
that yet.
It's all horrible. You're pounding with nausea, vomit.
Oh, what a fucking night!
Matter.
Nope, gotta go. And I make a dash for the door, and
I'm
I'm
already
gonna-
out it. Where's the bathroom? Where's the bathroom? I'm not gonna make it.
fuck the bathroom. I'm just going for outside.
The dirt is ruined. As you find yourself outside with everybody currently like dressed in their morning work clothes, like in overall, like the people around you have their gloves on and are dressed with a scarf around their neck to protect them from the dust and have their coveralls on, and they're carrying big planks of wood around and they're doing work to set up as you are just
I wipe my mouth. And I look at them. I'm like, oh, like you haven't seen this 100 times before. Fuck off. And I just keep puking.
That's a decent enough argument for them. Just kind of nod.
Oh, Giwar, you got a little bit. You got a little bit right here. Right there. Just a little. No, a little further. No, you got it. Okay.
Their horrid wails of pain and suffering draw the attention of Genevieve in the nearby Tide's hut.
Oh, is it that close?
Yeah, Tide's hut, Bart's hole, don't ever go too
Yeah,
far from each other.
you need a hospital next
Yeah.
to a bar.
Lakena is not happy about the level of incidents that come from the Bard's Hole.
Why do you think they have a board with hours of not touching an elephant?
But it really is the most convenient thing for all the people who need lesser restorations every day to only have to stumble like 100 feet rather than like search for the Medicut among all the different colorful caravans.
All right. I'm that type of person that I've already been up for like 3 hours.
Of course.
Oh yeah.
You and Lakena have been mixing potions and preparing poultices and recharging wands and all that.
And I poke my head out. And we're not moving anymore. We're stationary, right?
You're all stationary just outside, about a mile outside the town of Tosoa. You're building a perimeter fence. Tents are going up, all of that.
Hey, Giwar. You dead?
I wish I was.
He's crying.
I'm like in the fetal position, but you know, like on the ground, arms right there. You know, there's definitely a brown stain in my pants.
All right.
There's nothing good going on there.
Giwar,
Where's Clive? I need Clive.
Clive's home. Tell me when to stop.
What? Tell me
Tell me
when
when
to
to stop.
What?
What are you doing?
Just tell me when to stop, Giwar.
So what are you doing?
Genevieve, what do you do?
Duh, tell me when to stop.
I actually don't know what you're doing.
She's got fortune teller cards out.
I got my tarot cards out.
Oh, stop.
Upside down.
Yeah.
4 of swords. Am I gonna help my friend?
Lakena is sipping coffee while watching this all happen, just leaning. They've brought this on themselves like every other person who visits the Bard Hole. She heard all about the festivities last night, and she's all about letting some people suffer for a little bit if it's not life-threatening so that they learn. What do you do?
Giwar,
Yeah.
You have to be so loud.
your fate says that, you know, right now you need solitary contemplation.
Okay.
Go home and sleep it off, buddy.
Elars, with the mention of home, suddenly realizes that Hulk has probably heard that he's been back already, especially since the horses have come back.
Oh,
You
shit.
did
large
not
new goat.
show up for your morning duties. You didn't show up to tell him how
shit.
things went. You spent all night drunk in the bar, and your animals didn't get tended to.
Oh, shit. I run.
Bye, Giwar. Have fun. Thanks.
Yeah, there's a little more that comes out as I'm running.
One of these, kind of wipe my hand.
I tried, like, eat a good berry. Let's see what happens.
You get one HP back. It goes down. It goes down. It goes down. Yeah. As you approach Ferric, the massive, like, alligator snapping turtle, the gigantic dragon-looking mountainous creature casts its eye towards you, and your sense from animals tells you that Ferric himself is going, dude, no, not a good time, dude.
What do I do? What do I do?
What do? Do you continue following in?
What's going on? I can't speak with animals.
Ferric rumbles, and he says he's pissed.
At me?
There's a general acknowledgement in the silence that follows.
Oh shit!
Oh,
I run away. I run away.
You run away. You turn around and you
I
figure
come back. I was really hoping that would be higher because I'd be like, all right, I'll own up to it. I'll just take my beating. Nope, I'm gonna run away and hope it gets better later.
you give Lim time to calm down.
Wait, I need to do my job though. Oh shit.
Lim's doing double work right now to cover for you.
No, I still run away.
When he knows you're back, because your horses are back. They were brought back by the Gregs.
Oh shit.
So yeah, you leave. you figure this is not a place I want to be right now. I don't want to get in trouble.
I did. I tried to help myself too. I did. I really did. I tried to. I was like, the animals need me. I tried to rally. I'm just too fucked up.
Toji, you wake up on your workbench.
As I normally do.
Eat my ass.
You did remember to put down the glass divider over your paperwork last night, and you smile at your genius ingenuity as your drool has not stained your work again. Throwing aside the piece of durable glass, you look down at what you've been working on. What do you do?
I should probably go check on with Rexy, see what she has planned for the day.
You get up and walk down the hall. Rexy's office door is open, leading to her workshop, and as you step inside, you cast your eyes upon the massive mechanical apparatus that she's been working on. She looks down at you and says, "Oh, it's about time that you're up. Hand me that spanner over there, would you?"
Okay.
You hand her the spanner, and she says, "So how'd it go?"
What's a spanner?
A
Wrench.
wrench.
Okay. Should I know that?
I didn't know.
Like a British word for a wrench.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a British word for a wrench.
Well,
Go ahead.
we rescued the bard. We solved the genie's riddles. We killed a giant. Genevieve got a giant goat to follow her around.
In classic Rexy fashion, she says, "Now that reminds me of the time that me, Thurgan, Thorin, Elder, and I know I had mentioned myself twice. I'm that important in this whole thing.
Oh, you are. I know that.
Managed to fool a lich by putting on its favorite play in its own lair."
Oh, you got into monologue.
From when it was like alive and a child. And we distracted it long enough for Elder to find the phylactery and destroy it. So she tells you all about this old adventure that their group went on in a long day, turning what was a question about you into a long story about herself.
She monologued.
And she says, one day, if you live long enough, and if you're lucky enough, you might be able to do great things and teach people the things that they need to know, like punctuality and manners, responsibility, and how to show up for work on time.
Yeah, damn, bro.
As she puts the final few clacks on her thing. And she says, "But I think we have it. Would you like to do the honors?" As she hands you the control pad, connected, of course, with long wires to the central pillar holding up this gigantic apparatus of mechanus.
Is it like a double joystick kind of a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll just kind of...
You click it.
I should probably put the power on first.
You click the power on, and the whole thing whirs to life with a massive amount of magical power. The dome overhead speckles like a projector showing off the cosmos, and then those speckles lift off of the metal surface and come down to fill the area with a starry sky. The mechanism in the middle expands outward multiple rings and projects large balls of energy, one that looks suspiciously like Exandria, And she says, all right, let's see if it works.
Start it up.
As you go ahead and move one of the joysticks, it begins to move this massive orrery, showing the rotation of the planet around the sun and the movement of the two moons. And she says, all right, now the other one.
Okay.
As you go ahead and throw the other switch on it and the other joystick on it, suddenly other rings expand outward and other balls appear in the night sky, showing other planets. She says, it works. As it projects the slow rotation, the magical field of this unknown cosmic void. This idealistic view of hers and yours brought to life. She says, I know they're out there. I know we're locked away behind something that keeps us from seeing them.
Saying what exactly?
She points to the other planets. She said, heavenly bodies like Exandria. I know we're not alone. We can't be the only place with life, with power, with gods. What else can there be out there?
So I assume we have no idea about spell jamming.
Yeah, effectively. Or rather, in the current mythological cosmos, there are no other planets in the solar system with Exandria. It's just Exandria, the sun, Ruidus, and Cothos. Those are the only planets, like a solitary solar system. There is knowledge of other dimensions, as difficult as they are to get to. Reminder that the divine gate in this world basically has a Newtonian property to it. The more powerful that you are, the harder it is for you to leave this realm or enter it. You can leave and go to other places with planar shifting spells and portal technology, but it's just difficult. You can spell jam out and past and go to other realms of existence, but it's super expensive and rare and hard to do because of the sheer threats that exist in the cosmos.
So while there's Githyanki and Fae, there are no Klingons.
There are space dragons and giant space spiders the size of asteroids, though.
Nope, fuck that.
What
Yeah.
about space whales?
There are space whales and space dolphins. There are quite specifically space dolphins, and they're not nice.
Weird. I'd always find. Well, no, dolphins would be dicks.
There's also hamsters of every variety. Every
Giant miniature space hamsters.
That's right. Miniature giant space hamsters. Yes.
But they're giant.
So what Rexy is here suggesting is that there are other planets that have been veiled from view. There are other places to go nearby. There's other hidden secrets or civilizations or fragments to history that have been lost. And that's what's so provocative about this suggested unveiling. You are, after all, at a circus, a place of possibility and wonder, and nothing that she's suggesting has been proven or is even taken seriously, which is why
so
she's
it's
building it here.
essentially sci-fi.
It's essentially her version of sci-fi, yes. She's suggesting that there's more beyond the hidden eye.
Which it makes sense. There's so many stars out there. Each one of those can have planets around it.
Right. Of course, in the cosmological mythology, stars are often not stars. They are glimmers of radiance, portals that temporarily open to the celestial realm and then close.
Evangeline.
which also fucks up the night sky if you take it seriously, because every year or so, when they close and open at random intervals, the sky just is fucking different than it was before. So star mapping is very, very difficult to do. When
Well,
you
Rexy,
start
I did-
taking all the pieces of D&D and putting them together.
Right.
Go on.
I say, yeah, Rexy, I did not doubt you for a moment. I knew once you set your mind to something, like you always deliver.
You know, I do, don't I? Speaking of, I heard you were working on something for the Gregs. You want to clue me in?
Oh yeah. I'm trying to set up a rig so multiple ones of them, like kind of like a puppet. A black dragon is what I'm working on. You want to come see it?
She sighs. This again. They can never get it right. And she walks off with you to your workspace, and we'll view the creature with you as we cast ourselves over to Alfredo. You're in your workshop. It's a bit of a juxtaposition from what we just looked at, where Rexy's was clean and mechanical with the occasional spring, sprocket, or spare part lying around. You are in the Greg's workshop, which is very much like a feeder prop warehouse, jam-packed with every shelf filled to the brim with nonsensical bullshit that has to fit somewhere in that moment.
Perfect.
What are you doing?
Hmm.
The Gregs
Probably
are hustling, bustling around you and occasionally just scurrying over you. You're occasionally just an obstacle that they climb over.
Rude. Jeez. No. After tinkering with an exploding drum, the next day, Alfredo probably awakes, cradling the exploding drum. Oh.
The entire time he's sleeping, he's holding like an ignition rune in one hand, while the fuse of the bomb is just very nearby. Every time somebody jostles him, they get really close together, and then like he just leans back and snores again. Just this precarious, ready to explode mixture.
Pretty much, yeah. But waking up, actually knowing the state those two would have been in, Alfredo would have gone to like the breakfast buffet and grabbed bacon, eggs, bit of pastries, a tank of coffee. Head towards the Tide Hut as I see Kiwa just running away. So, oh well, just burst in probably when Xander's still there. Like, it is I, Alfredo.
Yes. Yeah. Hi. Oh, yeah. Hi. Just bring it down a notch. Little rough night.
Xander's still working on perfecting his form. Currently an amalgamation of 3 different forms at the moment, as his headache pounds away. The paladin bursting in doesn't make it any better.
Can't concentrate. Must. Oh,
I bought coffee.
what the hell's that?
Tentacle, like just weirdly,
Scales?
like
Where
you
did the
didn't
hell
know
the scales come from?
You've never done a tentacle before.
Some hentai bullshit. Hot dog fingers.
Wait a minute. What the fuck's growing up a tail?
I think
Oh,
your
Jesus.
toes have
What
turned
did
to
Thurgan
slime.
pour us last night? Oh.
It was his experimental ale.
Hey, Alfredo,
Coffee.
how you doing, bud? I kind of like on one hand on one knee, kind of lean over, pat him on the back, and breathe into his face a little too close, and he can smell the puke on my breath. And yeah, it was a good night. How you doing? What happened? Wait a. I kind of pat my sides. Where the hell's my belt pouch? Where's my fucking gold?
Oh, yeah.
You? Oh.
Safekeeping.
Oh, thank you.
Now, one sec. Now go over to Genevieve and what's her name? The tied hat lady.
Lake?
Lake, yeah, of course, yes. Like, give them a pastry and some coffee. Eh? Eh?
Thanks. I'm gonna hopefully be tying up all my chores over here, and I was gonna go check on Giwar and go help him with his morning
I
chores.
think Alfredo saw him leaking while he was running away. But
Which direction was he leaking? Or what direction was he leaking out of?
Just follow the tracks.
North and south.
Follow the
Follow the brown puddles.
so Alfredo doesn't have much to do today, so
You want to come help me?
was going to take care of that for you because you look busy.
How much more do we got, Lake? Giwar drank for the first time. A lot.
Not for the first.
Yep, I got him there.
I'm not there. I shouldn't
yes.
speak.
I'll pat Xander on the oh, he's tall now. Damn. Stomach. There you go. Now lay on hands. Cure you of your
poison.
Oh. 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 I give my head a shake, and as I do, my hair jostles out, and it goes back into its white changeling form, and I kind of get myself straightened out. The scales vanish from my hands. The tail goes away. Oh, that's so much better. Thank you, Alfredo.
coffee.
Coffee, too? Oh, my God, you are a saint. And I just start drinking it. I really should check in with Thurgan. No. I should check in with Thurgan and see if he's got anything for me to do today.
You find Thurgan meditating upside down on top of the bard's hole, holding himself with one stubby dwarven finger perfectly balanced, while holding a bard's the dwarven never-ending flask of ale and drinking from it endlessly. He is unmoving, in perfect harmony with himself, nature, and alcoholism.
I'll just kind of sit cross-legged. I'm assuming I've seen this before and know not to interrupt. So I'll just kind of sit down quietly, cross-legged, and pull out my notebook and start working on my one-man show idea, writing down notes and waiting for him to finish his meditation. And then
the moment that you sit down expectantly, he sighs with annoyance. He sets himself down upright and cracks his neck, looking at you. He says, "How am I supposed to meditate and find peace if you're scribbling there, waiting for me like some kind of duckling?" He doesn't seem to have had his coffee this morning.
I pull out the half-drink cup of coffee and I pass it to him.
He steps down off of the roof of the bard's hole, taking the coffee from you, drinking it down in one quick swill. He doesn't care that it was very hot, and hands it back to you.
I didn't want to interrupt. I just wanted to say thank you.
No, it's not you. It's just this tiff with Rexy, reignited recently. I'll tell you about it some other time. Work. You want work? Fuck. Go clean the stills.
All right, right on.
Far out, dude.
As you run off, he says, "Hey, the big man, the boss said something about seems to have a wicked hangover. He said something about what was it then? mission, something. Tonight, the tower. Gather your friends and whatnot. All right, leave.
All right, thank you. And I'll
He climbs
run
back
off.
on the hut and continues his meditation. It's too early in the morning for this shit for him.
I'll quickly bust through the little task he set for me, and then go and try to find everybody and try to round them up for tonight and let them know.
It takes you about an hour to finish cleaning the still, so the standard time for the task is you then go and find the rest of the party. The rest of the party has found Giwar. Giwar, where were you?
Hiding in some hay
Some hay.
badly.
I think I see his ears pointing out of that stack over there.
The Gregs have complained about a furball who won't get out of the hay maze for the children. He keeps messing it up, knocking it over since he's far too large for the child's hay maze.
It smells like shit and vomit.
It also smells really bad in the child's hay maze. And you know what, Alfredo? This seems like a good job for the greatest kobold. So the Gregs approach you specifically as you come tracking, and they say, hey, great one. If, it would be within your magnificence to retrieve the massive beast from our constructed fun time kitty maze. That would be great. Also, watch your step.
Quest?
Quest, yes.
Okay.
Gather your party and venture forth into the maze of hay and shit and vomit and go get your friend.
What's the reward?
Not having to do this twice. Go.
Oh,
Dude, that's a good deal.
okay.
Once again, at the butt end of the treatment of the Gregs for being different than their literal mass group conformity, you are given the shit job. Fortunately, you have new friends willing to help you. Genevieve and Xander are there with you. And let's say Toji has finished his morning chores and is out and about delivering sprockets of shit to where it needs to go and happens to stumble upon the group randomly as well.
Fredo has plan. We need Badger.
Kiwar,
I'm in so
Oh.
much trouble, you guys. I'm in so much
you're
trouble.
not in so much trouble. I need you out.
I'm so much trouble.
Genevieve, realizing that it's a child haze maze, just speaks over the top of the maze.
No, I'm like poking up, like when it's like
Yeah.
awkwardly to the side, because like I'm like basically like bent down.
buddy.
Fredo is strapping some sort of drum to his Badger. So, okay, so we put the strap in here.
Come on out so we can make all of this go away. And there are. Did Toji join up with us, or is he just kind of?
Hey guys, I'm lost in the kids' maze. I don't.
Watch where you step. Oh,
Where
too
are-
late.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh, the
okay.
sound of my voice.
He
Alfredo?
was supposed to deliver some colorful, like, confetti traps into the maze. Like,
Okay.
you
Yeah.
lost. You know,
Alfredo, is there gunpowder in this drum?
Yes,
Take the drum off, Clive.
but it's not. I'm not going to light it.
Wait, what?
Is that for
No.
I run out of there.
Immediately
What are you doing to Clive, bro?
knocks over the hay bales, which each only weigh about 5 pounds, despite being massive blocks of hay. They go flying everywhere. Giwar's just like, what are you doing?
all the kids are like, ah!
The upside is do we now see Toji?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that makes it easier because I was going to send Clive to go find him. But hey,
My plan worked.
The Gregs look at you and just sigh and set about cleaning up the mess to completely reconstruct the child's hay maze, which is fine because they needed to refloor it anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I look at them. Oh, don't pout. You were gonna have to move it anyway.
They say, "Go get the torches, burn it, start over."
All right. Lesser restoration.
Not poisoned anymore. Unless that fix is closed, I still smell like shit and vomit.
Oh yeah, you do. But lesser restoration.
All right. Apologize to Greg Slater.
The party takes time in the day to gather and rest and recuperate. You feel strangely stronger, strangely wiser. Like with rest, you've been able to reflect and grow on your abilities. Perhaps you find new mentors here in the circus to learn new skills during this day of downtime, waiting for Thorin to come back. Perhaps those skills are gained through meditation and thoughtful repose, or a deep study of ancient magic texts you have at your disposal.
Yeah, I was going to read that book last night. That didn't fucking happen.
Regardless, you level up over the next few hours of your day.
I did. I learned a very valuable lesson that definitely deserves a level up. Never drink a Xander ever fucking again.
Moderation.
Cool. Should we?
And yeah, you go ahead and level up, and any individual stories that people want told before your next mission should be told here.
Yeah, I'm going to go speak with Lim and get what's coming to me.
That is definitely a story we need to tell.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jimothy.
While all of this is going on, we are going to take a break to level up and let our actual party members relieve themselves if they need to. Be right back.
See you soon. A long day of work, tiresome, arduous, but necessary, lies in front of the party. Hour by hour, they labor away, assisting in the setup of this massive magical surface, this menagerie of mysticism. These are stories of that day. Anybody doing anything?
Yeah, I'm working on my one-man show, and as I'm doing it, I'm trying to incorporate and work on my playing of my lute, and I'm actually figured out the chord progression now. Where before I really didn't know what I was doing. I was just kind of strumming, and hopefully I was picking something up. But I've worked that out, and I've got this idea in my head of these pyrotechnics going off with my one-man show, as well as what Toji's going to be able to do for me. And I start understanding a little more of the arcane principles that go behind, and fireworks. I'm able to start doing little puffs of fireworks and stuff like that. So that's what I've been working on for the last couple hours, knowing that he's going to be asking me for what I'd like to do in my performance. And so I've been busily writing the tragedy and rebirth of Mollymock, Lucian, and Kingsley. A 3-act in 3 acts, a one-man play in 3 acts.
Okay. Very good. Inspiration. Anyone else?
I am going to go back with Giwar to help him get all of his chores done for the day, help take care of the animals, and check in on Jimothy, and just work on building my relationship with Jimothy after helping Giwar get all caught up for the day and helping smooth things over in his job description by essentially double timing what he can get done before I head back to the Tide Hut.
Yeah, but before that, I gotta talk to Lim.
All right. Giwar gathers his allies and his resolve.
Be ready for the greatest fight of your lives, guys.
Is Lim more a coffee person or an ale person?
I don't know. It's
I'll
Eeyore, do you
bring
want us
both.
there with you?
no, you guys
Want
got
some-
your
want some
Jenny.
moral
Jenny
support?
can go with me, but maybe I should do this mostly alone.
I give you
Okay,
a
well,
tanker of ale and
He'd
coffee.
respect that more, honestly.
Tell you what,
And I need all the
believe in
respect
you,
I can
Giwar,
get.
and just before you get to the entrance to go talk to Lem, I take you aside and I reach up because you're a lot taller than me, and I grab you by the shoulders. I'm like, Giwar, your breath still reeks like puke. You still got shit in your pants, but I believe in you, buddy. I know you can do it, and I give you inspiration. So you got a D6 that you can add. You got a bardic inspiration.
I hate you, but thank you.
Great
You got it for
scale
10
one
minutes,
guides
so.
you. Mm.
As you enter into the petting zoo with Genevieve, you wince as you hear the lumbering of feet pounding the earth as Lim's hulking form rushes towards you, ready to shoulder check you. His hand begins to summon vines from the ground to hold you in place as he does. And then his eyes see Genevieve rounding the corner behind you, and he skids to a halt, dismisses his summoning vines, and just pats you on the shoulder and dusts you off and says, "Oh, hey, Giwar, welcome back." He clutches you and gives you a look like, "We will talk about this later."
I nod.
I'm just still going to look at both of them. I'm going to be like, guys, we do this every time. And I'm just going to put my hands on both of them and just cast Calm Emotions again. Just so they both can just.
Oh, I was calm. I was like, I was prepared.
The
I was
calm
like the guy
emotions
that
for
went in
you-
prepared for death.
But the calm emotions for you, the way that I have it in my head is it's like when you give someone with ADHD caffeine, the calm emotions helps get you a little bit of confidence because it's calming your nerves to strip that away. That's kind of my headspace.
As Lim lets out a long exhale from his nostrils, closes his eyes, and opens them again, he says, "It's a pleasure to see you, Giwar. How was your adventure?"
Good till last night.
"Oh, did you have a bit of a shitstorm last night?"
Just yes.
"Ah, well, perhaps it serves you right. Perhaps it's a shame." As his massive hands like gently massage your shoulders in a mildly passive aggressive manner.
Yep.
He plucks a fluff out of your fur before taking his hands off of you. And he looks at Genevieve and says, "How's Lakena?"
Good. Also, there's a tic-tac tic-tac-toe board shaved in his back right now.
Oh yeah, I don't have my armor on.
He spins him around and does a little chuckle. And
She's
turns
great.
him back.
That's when he sees the brown stain on my pants too.
In this
Well,
moment,
he
I
smelled
think
that long before he saw
Yeah.
it.
That's true, but
he's gonna cut you a tiny bit of slack at this point and say, "You came back with one more. Turns out I didn't have anywhere to put him to sleep. I told him, 'You're gonna have to find a place,' and he chose, strangely enough, the tiger's shed. You best
oh crap, I skedaddle.
Jimothy in the tiger
I-
shed?
Yes.
Ooh. I hope
Jimmy, if you run off to the tiger's shed, the tiger's cage, to find that Jimothy is in fact in the cage. The tiger has a black eye and has been relegated to one corner of the cage as Jimothy is currently eating all of the bedding of the floor of the cage.
This is why I was afraid of Jimothy. You can't just beat up the other animals.
Jimothy snorts, almost as if saying that the tiger started it.
Okay, that's fair. And I point to the tiger like, you gotta know when you're outclassed.
The tiger's like, hey, dude, I'm done. I'm good. I learned.
All right, Timothy. Well, just, don't be too mean to him. He's only, he's gotta, a lion's gotta be a lion. We'll find you a place, okay?
The tiger gives you a look like, you're leaving him in here?
You guys seem to be getting along fine.
The tiger cannot believe this bullshit.
I kind of turn. I look at Jimmy. The tiger's kind of an asshole.
Jimothy goes back to eating hay.
Who's a good boy?
So Jimothy has found stall.
Cool.
Now
All
I'm
right,
gonna find a new
you
stall for the lion.
go. Please clean yourself up a little bit. I will start working on getting some of the animals who will not eat me's cages taken care of. But you need to come out here and deal with some of these other ones because we know what happened last time I tried to help with the alligators.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of people remember. All right, I go flesh pair of pants. Wondering where all my money is, but I'll deal with that later. Pissing Lim off is not pissing Lim off is number one priority.
You realize that Genevieve is a shield for you against Lim's rage. You mentally file that away for later.
You never know.
Very good. Yeah, you go through a day's worth of work. The petting zoo animals need to be groomed, trimmed, fed, and then they need to defecate before the children are there. And then it needs to be mucked so that all the children can have a wonderful, fun, shit-free experience.
That's my job.
That's your job.
May or may not be bows and pigtails on some of these petting zoo animals now.
As Lim walks through, inspecting the animals stall by stall at the end of the day, he stops at a small little goat, a normal size toy goat, with a little bow attached to its horn. He says, "Who's responsible for this?"
Me?
He gives you a look. His look burns through your soul. He says, "I never would have thought of that. Good touch." He keeps
He matches Jimothy, and you see a big ass bow on Jimothy's horn.
Lim nods. He says, "Could you get Jimothy out of here? He's not mine."
Where would you define out of here? Like out of the petting zoo area or out of
My stables.
where is he gonna go?
I'll
It's not my business. He's a goat.
He's my horse.
He gives you a look, and then he looks at Kiwar like, "Explain this to her and get the goat out of here."
This is where there's Lim's animals and there's other people's animals, and unfortunately he don't qualify as Lim's animal, so we'll figure something out. But he can't stay here any longer.
Weird. I guess this means the goat has to be a permanent party member.
I'll just talk to the Toji and the Gregs and see if they can finagle up something temporary, like a little pen.
You're talking to the goat?
Oh, I'm talking to Genevieve.
Oh.
I'm telling the goat, like, all right, you're gonna go with her, and she'll feed you
As always.
as always.
The goat follows.
We're gonna work on me riding you. Yeah, we are. Who's a good boy?
Roll animal handling.
Okay, damn it.
You find yourself on the back of a goat. He tries to swipe you off with his massive curved horns on occasion. You almost feel like he turns his head to look around a little bit too much. But you're proficient in ducking, and you've managed to stay on his back long enough for him to get used to you being up there.
See, not so bad. I just feed him as we start going back to the tide hunt, and I have to explain to Lakena where our goat came from.
Sounds good. Alfredo, what are you up to during this day?
Alfredo is working on scrounging up enough material to make a medium-sized felt puppet Tiamat.
Okay.
I want to know where this is.
You find yourself in the kobold storerooms. Bolts of cloth of all different types and colors hang off the wall, ready to be unreeled and turned into various different crafts. The wheels are largely stuck, rusted, and broken, requiring a good amount of strength to pull some of them. Occasional tears in the cloth can be seen. It's no Rexy's workshop. But then you're not allowed to work in there. The Gregs have largely
anymore.
the Gregs have largely left you to your task as you work on your puppet all day. Go ahead and roll, I guess, an appropriate crafting check. If you're not proficient, you'll have disadvantage.
I'm proficient in Tinker's tools.
That'll work.
Wearing Dex, Strength, Constitution.
Intelligence. You're constructing a mechanical apparatus.
I don't think Alfredo's the sharpest tack in the drawer.
Well, there's a reason he hasn't succeeded at doing this yet.
7.
You get it put together.
You have 7 heads.
It looks great. Oh
Wait,
my
that's
gosh,
not right.
Best it's ever looked ever. And then you notice that there's a screw in your hand about this long. That has got to be important. The whole thing crumbles in this moment, just falls apart, folding inward, every piece coming undone. It's a chain reaction, a Rube Goldberg of threads becoming unsewn. Nails popping out. Yeah. Your creation crumbles.
So at that point, I poke my head in and, oh, there you are. Were you building some sort of drum? With gunpowder or something?
Oh yeah.
I could probably use something like that. If it works.
Totally. Totally works. Here, hold this. It's like dive into the
gather all the Tiamat.
It's like start throwing like bolts of cloth. Drum. Now where's the fuse?
So what does the gunpowder fuel for the drum though? That's what I'm curious about. I mean, is it just one big bang, or is it like a rhythmic where I can keep it going?
I'm curious too.
Oh shit!
It requires testing.
Oh, come on, move.
Okay.
Like,
I believe in you, buddy. You can do this. I know you can.
Now, was it magic or fire?
Science.
Both. Thaumaturgy, fire. Go.
What are you doing?
I'm just exploding a drum.
The one that Xander's holding?
The one that he's holding?
I thought I was holding Tiamat.
Oh, hold on. Can't hold that. Hang.
Hold this?
Yeah, we'll be fine.
All right.
Okay, he just tried to light Tiamat on fire in your hands, realized it was the wrong thing, and then handed you a bomb. And you're standing there as he does it again?
No!
You go ahead and realize the gravity of the situation and throw it down right before he's about to thaumaturgy the fuse lit.
Now, if it all goes to plan, it will just go pop, 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 pop. If it doesn't go to plan, it will just go pop really loudly.
Yeah, I think I'll pass. I think I'll go see Toji and what he was crafting for. Thanks though. Appreciate the effort. You the man. Yeah, back later. And I'm just gonna make my way out before he blows me up.
As Xander leaves, there is an explosion behind him.
Oh shit. Alfredo? And instead of getting louder, I get quieter with my voice, and I just kind of slink away. He's fine.
Toji, what are you up to?
I overheard Xander's plan for his one-man show. I'm far enough into my Black Dragon for the Gregs that I can take a day off to help Xander out. So I am getting instruments ready, lined up with clockwork stuff. I'm getting the clockwork set up to where like every so many beats from the drums, I'm installing little metal pistons into it with the gunpowder and the minerals, so that way little at a rock concert when you have the pyrotechnics come up. So that's what I'm doing.
Okay. Xander enters into your workshop.
Oh, check this out. I think you're gonna like this. It's kind of a riff of what Alfredo was trying to do, but
you're using gunpowder too? What you guys are, you're crazy. He just tried to blow me up.
Oh yeah, I had a feeling about that. But check this out. And I'll start to
take a step back.
Start to crank it, and then it'll start to drum a little bit, and then a little streamer of fireworks, or not fireworks, but just a
fireworks.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, it's a minor explosion.
That could work. That could go well with, and I'll do the verbal and semantic components, and I'll snap my fingers, and a small burst of fireworks will explode out of magic from my hands.
Yeah,
I've been training.
As you do that, Xander, there was supposed to be nothing there, just smoke and fire, but there's a green letter in your hand.
Oh,
magic! Not
illusion.
I meant for that to happen.
Is that gonna be part of the show?
No. This is personal. I just wanted to show off that I got a green letter. Have you got yours yet?
No.
He looks around, he lifts up his invention, and yes, there's one there where impossibly there could not feasibly have been one.
Magic. Yeah, I got mine.
I'll open mine up.
Oh, look at mine.
Your success is not gone unrecorded. There is a mission of utmost urgency that I would prefer you deal with due haste. Gather your allies. Meet at the tower. Just 10 minutes before we open.
Are they both the same?
They're both the same.
How long till we open?
Oh, roughly an hour or so.
There's another explosion.
Right.
From
We've got to find the other ones. We've got to find the others.
I think I just heard Alfredo.
Well, yeah, I just left him. Hopefully he's still alive.
Well, I just heard another explosion, so I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Oh, that's probably him then. Okay, you want to go get Alfredo, and I'll see if I can find Genevieve or Giwar. They're probably together.
Sure. Do you want your instruments? Because I can. They're infused, ready to go. That's
Sure. Yeah. And I'll just put them in my my pack.
What did you tell me to make? A drum and what else? What are the other two?
Well, I'm playing the lute, so I need some sort of drum to keep the beat. Like a flute, a hi-hat would be good, like a flute, right?
Okay.
Something on the high end. And then
Bagpipes.
Sure. Bagpipes are wonderful.
Genevieve, as you approach on the back of God, what's this guy's name again?
Jimothy.
Sorry, Jimothy. As you approach on the back of Jimothy, it's taking a bit longer than you want to get to the Tide Hut. Mostly because Jimothy is not very good at following instructions and goes wherever he damn well pleases, usually to the set up food carts around the area. After
At some point, I would have like concocted literally a carrot and string.
After providing incentive to the situation to get him to go the direction that you want, you direct him towards the Tide Hut to see a very annoyed Lakena standing out front, clutching a rumpled green letter in her hand.
Jimothy.
She says, "Very good. As soon as I get you back, he takes you." And she'll hand you the letter.
I grab the letter, read it, assuming it says the same thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, shit.
It happens this way every time. I'm so tired of it. I will have words with him. Would you like to stay? I can get you to stay.
Let me at least, I think this is just to button up the last thing. I'll be back.
She nods.
You got Jimothy?
Heads back in. She looks at the goat and says, "I will find a place for him."
I appreciate it. Here's all the produce that I've collected along the way.
She looks at the goat and then waves her hand, uttering some ancient Triton words, and Jimothy reduces in size. She says, "This is better." Jimothy doesn't seem to notice nor mind as he follows her inside.
He goes back, right?
Oh yeah, it's just a reduced spell.
Cool. Can you get word? Oh, Lim's gonna be so pissed. Can you let Lim know? To let Giwar know?
She thinks about it for a moment.
He asked about you.
She always asks about me.
I
Fine.
used strong emotions this time.
She agrees. I will send word.
Thanks.
Giwar, you have been working very hard ever since Genevieve left.
Very hard.
Very hard. There is a literal small hill of shit that needs shoveling. Came out of Ferric today. Weirdly, instead of letting you use like the proper tools for this, he's making you use like an axe to shovel all of this. And he wants it done.
Doing it.
It's brutal. It's smelly. It's clearly punishment. And
size shovel.
As you look at him, as he approaches every now and then, there is no hide, hint, or tell of a green letter on his person.
I'm focused on my work. I don't even care about the letter right now. It's the objective is to not piss Lim off more. That's the fucking objective.
Eventually, when you expect Lim to show up, Lakena does. She appears randomly at the pile of manure. She's allowed to go wherever she wants. She's a higher up in the circus, but it is odd to see her here. As she sees you using an axe as a shovel, she says, "That's odd. I thought that we had invented a tool for that."
I just thought it would work better this way.
Did you hear the news?
No.
So you did not get talked to?
Look around for Lim. Nope.
Nobody came and told you that you have to be somewhere in 5 minutes?
No. Where?
She sighs. Give me a moment.
Do I have a moment?
She walks off. There is a small cacophony that follows. A bit of shouting and lecturing, and followed by feeble attempts to explain oneself, followed by more strict words about trying to control someone's future out of pure annoyance or spite. And then insinuations as to why this is why they're not together. And after a moment, Lakener returns holding a green letter that looks like it's been shoved in the garbage and hands it to you. And she says, Tower, now.
I bolt. I bolt so hard.
You catch Lim's glare on your way out. He utters a single set of words. You're fired.
Oh. Oh. I don't stop running though.
As you make your way to the tower. Xander, what are you up to?
I was trying to find them, but so I I see as I'm coming toward the animal pens, I see Giwar running in the other direction, and I'm like, I'm guessing you know, right? Let's go. And as I turn around and catch pace with him, I get a whiff of he's been shoveling manure. I'm like, no, that won't do. And I'm like, stop for a sec, Giwar, one just 6 seconds of your time,
I
just a
don't
moment.
stop.
Okay, well, I got a bit of a range. So I cast Prestidigitation on him to try to get some of the shit and mud off of him, and then I keep running, just try to mask some of the smell and everything, and get him a little cleaned up.
Fantastic. You gather Alfredo from the kobold den nearby. Yeah, he's working on something. I'm not sure what he's working on now. Probably reattempting that velvet dragon again, but there's no time. As you gather him up and bring him to the base of the tower, where now there's a door.
Knock, knock, knock.
It opens. On the inside is a small room with a teleportation circle.
We're all there now. Genevieve is there too.
Everybody's there.
Toji, all right. Well, shall we go see what the boss man wants?
Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Oh, come, Giwar. It's not all that bad. You don't smell like shit anymore. And I
He
slap him on the
fired
back.
me.
And,
Lynn
Yeah.
gave up on me.
No, don't. We'll get this all taken care of.
I like,
but Thorin likes you.
like
Thorin needs you.
mopey, kind of like sad walk into the circle.
He vanishes, just consumed by magical light.
Right. One for the road. And I'll just kind of jump into the circle. And...
Does everybody go in?
Yep.
One after the other, you all disappear into the circle, only to appear once again in the cozy, lavish, magically rich abode of Thorin Sigurd. Or Bjornsson, that's what I renamed him. Thorin Bjornsson. As the tower's full-pane glass windows look out upon the ever-growing darkness, the sun sets, and the ever-flickering lights that slowly come into being down below, he stands looking at a book, brown cover with a gentle faded image of a wand sparking off, kind of like an atypical magical item guide. He's all engrossed in it, even though he's obviously heard the magical circle summon you, and you step forth into his eye line. He continues to read it for a moment, and he says, "Which one of you have a show to do?"
Raise my hand. I do. I've got one prepared. I was told you might give us the opportunity to present it, and
Still engrossed in the book, he says, "Are you all ready? Have you got it prepared?"
yes, it's a 3-act masterpiece of the story of Molly Mock Tea Leaf as he was reborn as that, and then to Lucian, and then Kingsley, the pirate known on the Menagerie Coast.
He nods. A grand tale, I'm sure. I can't wait to hear it. Have any of you ever heard of the Compass of the Rose?
Me?
Now,
Can I make a
History?
check, a history, or
Yes, you're welcome to make a history check.
history check? Okay.
Do you have to be trained in history to make this check?
Yes.
What
I
about
am trained.
Arcana?
If you are trained in Arcana, you DC's higher, but you might.
Or
Okay.
religion.
what about athletics?
No, religion wouldn't do it either.
25.
So
25.
19 for me for history.
All right. Now, the Compass of the Rose doesn't bring anything to mind, but for Xander and Toji, you do recall an ancient order known as the Order of the Rose, an order dedicated to the protection and deep secrecy of various ancient magical prophecies and world-ending nonsense. It's a thing that has become children's legend
Or conspiracy theories.
or conspiracy theory, like a shadow organization in the darkness of everything that watches and conceals the world from the greatest horrors.
Ooh.
But there's no truth, there's no headquarters, there's no truth or substance, there's no names or heroes to the legends. It's all just tales. But not the Compass of the Rose. And as you respond with your answers, he says, And he snaps the book shut and slides it back on a shelf where you see book after book after book, library filled with a glossary, an appendix, an encyclopedia's worth of knowledge about magical items and artifacts and the tales of ancient history. And he says, "Neither have I." So,
Oh, insight check.
go ahead. It brings me to wonder why my dear friend... Sorry, my notes went away after a moment. My dear friend, Lord Marius Lightbur, has come to me and implored me that he needs my aid. Aid in recovering an ancient artifact known as the Compass of the Rose. Now, I own, Mr. Lightbur, a great deal of latitude. Our dealings in the past have assisted me greatly in my gainings of my businesses. Genevieve, what you can tell is that he does know something. He's lying a little bit. He's holding something back in his knowledge. You can see the glint and the conversational shift. He's a master of conversation, but you're insightful enough to catch it.
Cool.
He says, "Mr. Lightbird, financed a lot of my operations back when I was beginning my circus a few years ago. We've broken even, but I still owe him one final favor. Since you've done such a fantastic job and proven yourself beyond your abilities, I thought to offer your services to him. He's been a bit vague, but suffice to say that this mission has small moral implications. I believe we're supposed to steal something from his family's rival, Lady Thalis. Go.
Vetus?
Thalis. Thelies. Lady Thelies. I would go speak with him for more information. Hear him out. Their family's long-standing feud is well documented within the city. I suspect as long as there's no nefarity, which there should not be if you're associating with my name, everything should be fine.
Sorry, what city?
Oh, I forgot to mention, Port de Mali.
And they're both in Port de Mali?
They are. They're both wealthy nobles of opposing families in Port de Mali. Lord Marius says that Lady Alara has something that belongs to him. I'm not here to play into question. We have been hired, and we have a job to do.
But what if we're the bad guys?
He shrugs. Everything is relative. Do nothing bad, and I'm sure everything will be fine.
Mr. Bad Boss Man, what does the compass point to?
Normally north, but he shrugs. If it's magical, who knows? These questions were not mine to discern, though I have been searching for that very answer, and I'm unable to find it, even in all of my grand accumulation of knowledge.
Do we have a letter of introduction from you, or do we just go and find him?
Ah, yes. And he will go ahead and have quickly, with a flick of his wrist, a scroll produced from a nearby shelf, a pen fly forth and write a flourishing, glowing letter of introduction, slightly misrepresenting your deeds and talking you up with great grandeur and flourish.
Slayer of dragons.
Well, Slayer of Genies is really defeater of genies.
Giants.
Go ahead. And giants, yeah.
Best of genies and giants.
As he hands you the writ, all beautifully tied up in a silvered scroll case, he says, I do assume you found your pay?
Yes,
We
thank you.
Did.
Wait, what?
But I apologize if I'm speaking out of turn, Giwar. Do people
Jenny,
typically,
no. Jenny, no. Jenny, no.
do people typically get fired after receiving their green letters?
No.
He looks at Giwar and says, Lim,
Yep.
you must view Lim as a scorned father. He takes such pride in those he hand selects. And then when I see it fit to promote them beyond their current station, and they accept, it's like they're leaving him. He only fires you because he's hurt, but he'll get over it. He's a big softy at heart.
So would the best course of action be to essentially go home?
He shrugs.
I'll deal with it.
And he says, do not tell him I said he was a softy.
Never, sir. Never.
His eyes flash with a menace and power that belies what his soul can do. He says, do not tell him that.
Never.
No.
Ever,
You know what
sir.
You know what we can do on the way back? Is we can stop and ask Lakena what a good buttering up thing would be. And then you can maybe bring him like donuts or something.
He actually prefers a good salmon if you can catch a fresh one. Now,
You're going to Port Damali.
I want to show you something. Come to the window.
Go to the window.
Okay.
As you step over towards the large glass panes and look out over his common sight, you discover something neat about this window. It has magical properties that let you zoom in and
Weird.
view like a child's lollipop
Pervert.
if you wanted
It's like-
to. Yeah, you can.
Pinch and
You
zoom.
can.
Pinch and zoom.
But as
Where's
you
the
look
X?
out,
Where's the X-ray? No.
as you look out, the last vestiges of pink and purple are descending down into the horizon. And below you, as the gates flash alight with purple and blue flames on their braziers, and all the lights across the gates flooding in a spectral, like, beautiful sea of stars that reflects the heavens. The circus comes to life. Fire dancers and jugglers and clowns and horsemen and knights all take to the streets as the gates open, and those who have come from afar and those who live nearby come to see the circus for the first time on the Menagerie Coast in years. You watch as you see joy, glee, screaming children, lovers walking through the streets hand in hand. You see what your hard work puts out at the end of the day. Everything that you've traveled with the circus that you've seen so many times plays out from a height and a grandeur you've never gotten to see. And you feel a wave of appreciation, a wave of magical beauty flood through your body. And Thorin's hand rests on your shoulder, Xander, and says, well, you're up.
Okay.
You are teleported.
Oh shit.
You're teleported. You're teleported. You're teleported.
On the spot.
Your friends are all front row. Your party members are all in the front row of the performance. And you have everything you need already set up and ready for you by the Gregs.
Okay.
As the last one is just rounding the corner and gives you a nod and scurries away, the spotlight above has a soft flashing red that's just waiting for your count to shine down above you in a flood of light.
So the scene opens as the light comes on, and I now look like a purple-skinned tiefling. And my shift weave clothing is in a very poor imitation of Molly Mock's very elaborate jacket. I'm at Fletching and... One sec.
Moondrops.
Fletching and Moondrops Carnival of Curiosities, and a big banner is across the back. And I'm being the harker, and I have some cards that I'm fanning out and trying to entice the audience to enjoy and come see the show. And as that's happening, I duck behind one of the stages. My shift weave clothing changes from Molly Mock to a suit of like a fur vest and gruff-looking pants, and now I'm a tall female barbarian with wielding a large wooden sword, being the guards as the people are escorted into Fletching and Moondrop's Carnival of Curiosities. I again duck around the corner as there's some exposition that goes on here as well. And I duck around the corner, and now I'm in the middle of I am myself at this point. And I say, now hearken the tale, the tragedy of Mollymock Tea Leaf, and the tragedy and rising of Mollymock Tea Leaf, from Mollymock to Lucian to our Kingsley, the pirate of the Menagerie Coast. And then I go into the first act is all about the first life of the Mollymock. And it goes through what might be public knowledge. I mean, I'm sure not everything is public knowledge about the Mighty Nine, but they were famous enough. I would think that there would be some. So I go through whatever's public knowledge of that, and I keep transforming. I have 5 different costumes per shift weave. So this particular act is the various characters of the Mighty Nine that I shift into and portray the different parts that might be known. And that goes on for about an hour. And then Act 2 is the intermission of Act 2. I get the musical, the 3 little things that Toji has made for me. And I get off and I play in the intermission. And as the lights are a little lower and more subdued, as we bring into the death now of Mollymock and how he passes away. And the Mighty Nine at the funeral dirge as they bury him in the ground. And Act 2 starts up. And now it is the trials and tribulations of him coming back as no longer Mollymock, but as Lucian. And now I have various tattoos along my arms of these eyes that appear everywhere. No longer wearing the cloak, but now wearing like darker leathers and stuff like that. And I'm portraying more of the Tomb Takers. And I changed the shift weave, so I have 5 different outfits on this one, and now it's more of the Tomb Takers role as they go to Islecross and explore the ruins of Islecross, and that goes on for about another hour. And then the third act is the rebirth and death of Lucian as the Mighty Nine battle Lucian and kill him, and his rebirth in coming back as Kingsley, the pirate extraordinaire of the Menagerie Coast. And that's only about 35 minutes because there's not as much to do. And now it's already 2.5 hours, 3 hours of a show that was a one-man show that I put on.
Roll performance check.
This can only go one of 2 ways.
Right? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Your rendition is emotional. It's thoughtful. It captures those moments that are less words and more glances between 2 souls, which is hard to do in a one-person show. People are moved. They want to know more about this intrepid, adventurous, this interesting soul.
Genevieve's pissed that it was so good.
Genevieve's just like the whole time.
I'm gonna roll an insight to see if I notice Genevieve.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I don't.
No,
okay.
You're enraptured in your own.
I'm enraptured by the applause and the adulation of the crowd.
And the silence. There's this gasp. There's audible. You can feel the silence at times as people's focus is like, what is going to happen next? Did he really just die? Like all of this. And it's beautiful.
And then I end as the lights come back up at the final. And I look at the crowd and I look at them and I go, I was going to tell you a time traveling joke, but you guys didn't like it. As the lights come down.
Now Genevieve's pissed.
The peasantry from the carpentry village nearby doesn't quite get that one. But you do well. And you see Thorin taking notes and nodding thoughtfully in the back row. You feel like that went well? Genevieve has her own show to put on, and Toji knows that Rexy wants to do something as well. But ultimately, Port de Mali calls. And we grow long on time. So, as the curtain closes on Xander's act, and Thorin begins to reconsider this changeling's role in his circus, this unique individual's abilities. Let's go to who? Genevieve or Toji? Who wants to do it?
Are you ready with your cards?
Sure.
We'll go to Genevieve. Genevieve left partway through the performance, partially because she needed to get her own stuff set up, maybe a little bit for other reasons. As Genevieve finds her tent and her tent space, whereabouts do you think she puts her tent?
Probably towards the back, 'cause I'm still trying to figure all this out, so I don't need a big, heavy flow of customers or anything.
Sort of the classic, there's this patch of weird woods that I know people will wander into, and I want them to wander through the parting mists, so you go ahead and set up the fog spells around your...
Definitely has the ominous tent, but, like, nobody's gonna find it except that one really weird person.
As Lisa Simpson walks in through your fortune-telling tent, as a young girl, human, walks in through the door of your fortune-telling tent about 5 minutes after it's opened, she seems a little lost, but in an excited kind of like, I'm exploring an area that's supposed to be pretty safe, and it's getting a little spooky, but I'm not scared yet, kind of way. And then she stumbles in and sees you. You're pretty weird looking, but you're also... Oh, you're human. Yeah, no, you're not weird looking.
I don't look weird.
Well, you got red hair.
You've got reddish hair, and there's a bit of a sunkenness to your features in the flickering of the candlelight. And momentarily, she's off put, and she says, hello, can you... I'm trying to find my way back to the big top.
Are you lost?
I wouldn't say lost, no. But I don't know where I am.
Well, how can I help?
I was wondering if you... What is this place? She looks around now, noticing the various hanging doodads and beads and relics and crystals, and seeing the cards splayed out on the velvet-covered table. She's momentarily distracted from her troubles. She's not scared. She's curious.
Well, I read fortunes.
What's your fortune?
Kind of like what's going to happen.
You could tell the future.
I can have a good guess. None of us can tell the future because it's always ever changing.
Well, that sounds fun.
You want to do one, and then we'll go find your folks?
I think that sounds like a grand idea.
Okay. So I'm going to have you pick one card, okay?
Okay. She'll reach forward, waiting for you to spread the cards out.
They're spread out. Do you want to be between 10 and 2 o'clock? Where do you want to go?
We'll go to 5.
Between 10 and 2 o'clock, where do you want to go?
Oh, no, like a clock, like 12?
Like 12? Like 12?
Like 12.
Okay. So your card is the Queen of Pentacles. See, look at this little guy. That's your card. Well,
Oh, spooky.
It keeps disappearing.
he's not
It looks like a
spooky.
demon.
He's a cat. Why is that a demon?
The cats can be demons.
Yeah,
My
they
mom
can
says
be.
rakshas are quite scary.
Well, that is also fair. Now, Your card was upside down, so we have to try to figure out what the reverse meaning of it is.
Okay.
But all it's saying is you just need to sit. This card just means that you need to sit and think for a little bit about what you need to do in your life to make it a little bit better. That's it.
So,
It's up to you to think about how you can help that.
so life will find me if I stop running around. That's what you're saying.
Sometimes you have to run a little bit faster.
It's very confusing.
Life is confusing.
I'm gonna go look for my mother now.
Do you want help?
No, I think I'll be all right.
Okay.
She backed slowly out of the tent, a little more creeped out than when she walked in. Shortly thereafter, maybe 15, 20 minutes later, a dwarven man walks in. He looks weirdly familiar, but maybe it's just the beard. He says, "Are you a fortune teller? How many of you've got they've got here?"
42.
He seems a little bit drunk. 42 fortune tellers at a circus. That's far too many fortune tellers. I do not have a conflict in the weave.
42.
I'm not in a fortune teller's tent, all right.
Well, you are.
Is that how many years I have left? Is that how long my marriage is gonna last?
Well, it is the answer to life, universe, and everything.
He slowly backs out of the tent, not understanding, but left with a lot to think about.
Not really good at this.
Eventually, a man walks in wearing a long, flowing, dark blue cloak. He's got the hood pulled up, and it's surrounded with a gilded bit of gold thread. His face is mostly obscured by the shadows of your tent. The candle flickering on the table reveals a neatly kept beard coming to a sharp point and a goatee, mustache, all very well trimmed. His voice flourishes with magic and intelligence, well spoken. He says, "Have you a firm grip on the future, girl?
I'm trying.
What can you show me?"
Well, let's pull a card.
He reaches forward and pulls a random card from your hand without looking.
It's the sun.
And what does that mean?
I'm looking.
Loading. Loading the sun. Loading.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Like
The sun.
and subscribe.
Subscribe and like.
Oh, that must mean the sun's upside down.
No, actually, it's right side up today.
How could you tell?
Isn't it a ball?
So, it sounds like you're right now surrounded in health and safety, and you're protected from chaos.
That I am. All is well with the order. He pulls his hand out of the cloak and puts it on the table, presses his hand over yours, and on the back of his glove, you see a rose. And he says, "If you find it, bring it to me. You only need to speak my name." And as he pulls his hand away from yours and walks out of the tent without another word, there is a card, like a business card, with an engraving of a rose and the name Kentwood Atticus.
Is it too late to roll an insight check?
You could roll an insight check on that whole interaction.
Cool. I mostly am checking like a nefariousness to it. 25.
It doesn't seem evil. It's bizarre. How did he know that you got a mission to go get this thing? What does he know? What more could be known? Who else knows? But he didn't seem angry. He didn't seem like he had a nefariety or like his agenda was off. More like, hey, there's something in it for you.
Tentwood? Was Tentwood Atticus?
Entwood Atticus.
Entwood.
Entwood Atticus.
Entwood. Okay.
And as the flaps close, we'll go ahead and end session there. This mysterious stranger introducing himself to Genevieve, hoping to get her to work against her contract and provide him with a leg up on whatever his fucking goals are. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this production of Idle Mimic production. I hope you enjoyed Idle Mimic Productions. Ah! I hope you enjoyed our show today. Bit of a role play heavy one. No combat in this one. Maybe we'll find combat in the next one. Who knows? But we got a little bit more introduction on everybody. Got to know everybody a little bit better, and I am glad for it. So we will see you next week.
Bye.
Peace out.
Bye.
Like, subscribe, do the things.
Yep, do the things.